Hi, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Brave Briefings, a place where men and women can come and share their tips, their ideas, their thoughts on how we can stop toxic behavior, how we can break the scourge of violence and gender-based violence and domestic violence, and how we can live in a safer world. So we want to be brave in order to do that. And brave is about having boundaries and balance. It's about respect and responsibility. It's about agreement and values. And it's about empathy and empowerment and emotional intelligence. So we want everybody to be brave. If we're brave, we can actually eradicate sexual-based violence. So today I have, I hope, a very brave lady with me. So I'd like to welcome Janie Charlot. Hi, Janie.
Hey there, Lois. How are you?
Great, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
So Janie, would you like to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yes, I'm joining you guys from Atlanta, Georgia. Janie Charlot. I am a family nurse practitioner. I have a family practice and weight management clinic here in the Atlanta area. I am also a podcast host on Matters of the Heart and Soul podcast. I am a recent author of 7 Steps to Mastering Emotions. That book is available on Amazon. And I am a mother. And I also have a nonprofit organization called Bridge to Healthcare. And the mission of that nonprofit is to be the bridge to provide positive health resources to those that don't have them.
Well, you do amazing work and it must keep you very busy.
It does, but I think when you are doing work that you love and you're passionate about, it never feels like work.
So true. So Janie, thanks very much for joining us on this venture into bravery. What suggestions, what can we do to ensure that our society is brave?
I think if we all be the change that we wish to see, that we could take one step at a time in being brave. So if we all be that brave person. And I think one of the most important things we could do individually is be authentic and be intentional in every aspect of our life, in all things that we do. So whether we are with our children, whether we are at work, whether we are talking to our counterparts, our male, female counterparts, whether we are with our employees, let's be authentic and let's be intentional about everything that we're doing.
So what do we have to do to be authentic? And how are we intentional?
Yeah, that's a great question. Being authentic requires a lot of self-awareness, self-reflection. It requires going within yourself. If you don't know who you are, the world will not know who you are, and the world will define you for you. So it's important that you go within and you define yourself for yourself from an authentic place. Go deep within, search your heart. That's where you are. You'll find yourself in your heart. But and you have to, there's a lot of ways to do that, but most important is spending time with yourself.
And that fits in nicely with the V of values, because if you don't know yourself, you don't know what your values are. And if you don't know your values, you don't know how to set your boundaries. So,
Absolutely, Lois.
yeah. So go within, guys and girls, go and find out who you really are, and so that you can
Yeah.
live that authentic life. What about being intentional?
Um, I'm a big believer in universal principles and universal laws. I do believe that the cosmos and the universe, we are under certain laws. And everything that we put out is going to come back to us in one way, shape, or form. So be intentional. Put out the things that you want to come back to you. Put out love. If love is what you want to come back, put out love. If you want others to be compassionate with you, be compassionate to others. If you need other people to be empathetic towards you and your situation, show empathy. We have to be intentional with all the things that we want in our own life. We have to be those things to others. And it starts with us. Authentic, intentional.
I love that. So simple, really, if you think about it.
It's so simple, but it requires sometimes getting to your authentic self requires pulling back those layers and unlearning a lot of things that we were taught perhaps in our communities, in our homes, from our parents, in the educational system, in the governmental system. We have to just kind of pull back old values and beliefs that no longer serve us to get to our authentic self. And sometimes things that served you at one point in your life is not serving you now. And that's the other thing about being authentic. You can evolve and become the better and higher version of yourself. And it's okay to do that anytime you want to. That's being authentic. You don't have to wear a hat that you wore 10 years ago and you know that hat is not serving you. Being authentic is saying, you know what? I'm ready for a change. I don't want to be that person. I could do it today. And you could do that today.
It's so important as well that we don't live the values and beliefs and patterns of our parents and our grandparents. You know, we learn all these behaviors and it's their rules, it's not our rules. So we need to find our own way.
Yeah, and some of those values and beliefs can serve you on, and even the next generation. But some of the values that our parents and grandparents and family members is not serving us moving forward. And we just have to get to our authentic place individually. And you have to know that you don't have to adopt everything that everyone in your close proximity is doing. You have to search those answers for yourself.
Go within.
Exactly, go within. That's where you find it.
Wow, so it sounds so easy, but it's not always that easy to go within. So how can people get support to go within?
You know, Lois, so I use my book sometimes as just a little mouse thing for my mouse pad. But this is the book, right? It's a very easy, simple book, 7 steps to mastering emotions, gaining emotional intelligence, and getting the best out of life. It takes you through 7 steps in going within, recognizing what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, where did it come from? You know, was it a unhealed wound back that was suppressed and you're walking around angry and you don't know why? You know, so the book takes you through steps. Then once you understand where it's coming from, it helps you to transcend those emotions. And what I mean by transcend is go above it, heal it and go above it. Choose a different emotion. So if you're feeling guilty for something, you can choose compassion with yourself. And this is with yourself again, because if we can't master ourselves, we're no good to the rest of the world. So we have to come whole and complete to the world so that we could give out and give a whole complete version of ourselves to the work and the other people that we serve. So that's one way, you know, that's one way. But another way is mindfulness, just taking some time to be quiet with yourself, observe your thoughts. We literally are creating the lives that we live with the thoughts that we think, with the words that we speak, and with the actions that we take. So we used to say, watch your words. No, you have to watch your thoughts, because your thoughts are creating your reality. And so if you're sitting there having disempowering thoughts, you're going to live a disempowered life. So that's another way of just kind of, you know, going within. There's a lot of ways to do this, but the first step is settling down and not being so consumed with the outside world. Starting paying attention to your body, paying attention to what's going on with your own emotions. Emotions is the biggest thing. I mean, that's where we really have to start, because that unchecked and unmastered emotions can lead to a lot of things, and not healthy things.
All right, so now we have mastered ourselves and we've gone within and we are authentic. How can we encourage our youth to develop those same skills? What can we do to teach them and to get them to be authentic?
You know, that's a great question. And being a mother, my son is going to be 12 in about a week. And I noticed, just being a parent, he learns by observation more than anything I could ever tell him. So if he sees me handling situations in a mature way, in a very composed way, he's going to be able to handle it as well. But if he sees me out of control, just, you know, handling situations, that's how he's going to handle it. So we have to be the example for our youth more than anything else that we could tell them verbally. I also think that we have to spiritually uplift our generations that's coming behind us. So in our quiet time, we have to, you know, send out love to our youth through prayer, meditation, however you choose to do it. But in our quiet time, we have to send that to our youth. So I believe truthfully with our youth, and just being a mother, that my son learns by observation. And it's funny because it'll be things that I have said, just, you know, are done. And then later he'll be like, oh, mom, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, where, you heard that? You heard me say that? And they hear everything. They hear and see everything. So you have to really know that everything you say, everything you're doing, they are watching. So we have to just be the example that we want them to be. Be it.
Fabulous. Sure. So I will put your contact details below the video so people can get hold of you and they can get hold of this book, which sounds really fantastic. 7 steps, easy to follow. So that's
7 steps to mastering emotions. It's an easy read, but it's a very it'll pull some things out. It'll pull some good things out. It'll help you go within for sure.
great. So viewers, are you brave? Are you bold? I invite you all to learn how to be brave. Follow Janie, follow me. I'm Lois from Walking Without Skin, and I invite you all to fly free. Thank you, Janie. Thanks everyone for watching, and tune in again for another edition of Brave Briefings.